Welcome to Jen's Daily Dish. Today we're making Fougasse, or rather pronounced in French as Fougasse, or something like that. What is Fougasse? Fougasse is sort of like the French version of the Italian Focaccia. In fact, it's so close to it, but it's a little bit denser in its texture, but the flavors are still dead on, and it is delicious. And it looks like this. We're gonna make it look like this. Well, we're gonna try. You know me. This is the first time I'm making it with you to watch along. So pay attention. We're also making it because it'll be delicious with olives and onions. Got a whole wheat flour in it. That counts as nutrition. I've got a need for Fougasse. And I'm so very in. I'm in. This Fougasse recipe comes together quickly, but has a few resting periods for the dough. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna make the poolish. Yes, the poolish. I've talked about it before. It is the starter, the bigger, the thing you make before you make the thing. A poolish basically starts the pre-fermentation. It's got the flour and it's got yeast and it's got water and it gets it all going overnight, and it makes it super easy to put together. It's going to make for a lighter dough, and it's also going to enrich the flavor because it has sat overnight. 1 cup of bread flour. We want that extra protein. 1/2 cup of water. 1/8 teaspoon of yeast. Stir together. Cover with plastic wrap and let it sit and ferment overnight. Look at what happened overnight. See all those lovely bubbles? The yeast has been having fun and the poolish is ready. Before we start with the dough, you're going to need some diced onions that are caramelized with a tablespoon of butter. It's about 1 onion here. Should fill a 1/2 cup. And then you'll need a 1/2 cup of roughly chopped olives, which I have here. Use Kalamata if you have them, because the black will stand out nicely. But I had green olives in my pantry, and that's what we're using. To the poolish, add a 1/2 cup of water. Add a cup of bread flour and a cup of whole wheat flour. We're going to mix this in the mixer until it's a little shaggy. Cover and let rest for 20 minutes. 20 minutes are up. We're going to add some additional yeast, 2 teaspoons going in, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons olive oil. Knead briefly until shaggy. Add in your cup of diced onions that are caramelized. Add in your 1/2 cup of roughly chopped olives. Knead for about 3 minutes via mixer or 5 minutes by hand. At this point, the dough should be supple, but not necessarily elastic. Put it in a lightly greased bowl and let it rest for 1.5 hours. After 45 minutes, you'll want to deflate it and turn it over. 45 minutes on the clock. Halfway point. Grew a lot. Deflate it and turn it over. Wait another 45 minutes. The dough rose a lot. Make sure you have prepared a baking sheet that is lightly oiled. I put parchment paper down just in case. Take your dough and pour it onto your baking sheet. You could do this on a separate location, but I think it's going to be easier to do it here. We're going to make this into a 12 by 6 oval. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to sort of move it around a bit. Cover and let rise for 30 minutes. Look how much it rose. Keep the plastic wrap. We're going to use it again. Now we get to shape this into a leaf. We're going to start by making one slit here and one slit here. I'm just going to score it out first. And then we're going to go ahead and make some slits, some 4 diagonal slits along the sides. Now we're going to get our fingers in here so that we can see these slits. You want to be able to see this. You want them at least 2 inches apart. Cover and let rise for 30 to 45 minutes until it is nice and puffy. Now's the time. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. It has gotten nice and puffy. Let's get this in the oven. Into the oven for 20 minutes until it's a nice golden brown. It's time and it smells so good. My, oh my, look at that. A lovely golden brown. Let's take it off of here and let it cool. Oh my. Let it cool. Then we're going to taste it and I cannot wait. It smells heavenly in the house. All right, let's take a look. Inspection time. First off, my house smells ridiculous. Between the bread and the caramelized onions and those olives, oh my heaven. Well, you'll see I made the fougasse, but perhaps I should have opened up those holes a little bit more than I did because I did a good job here up top, but you'll see down below some of them sort of closed. But that's okay because it's going to taste delicious. And this was a lesson for me and a lesson for you of what to do when you make it. Now let's taste it. I tore off one of the top pieces of the leaf, but you'll see here the olives and the onions in it, and it baked fantastically. It is soft, but has a little bit of a crisp crust. Let's taste it. I could eat this all day, every day. This is so delicious. It had a little bit of crunch on the outside. I'm not sure if you could hear that or not, but then you can see it's nice and soft on the inside. And you could eat this plain. You could have this with olive oil. You could have it with olive oil and vinegar. You could put a garlic glaze on top with butter and garlic. Oh, the possibilities are so endless. What's not endless is the fougasse because it will go quickly. It is so good. If I can make a fougasse for the very first time with you, you can too. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check me out on Instagram at Jen's Daily Dish and more. I'm gonna go for the rest of the fougasse. Don't tell anybody.